What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 1 of In the Pressbox. We are so excited that all of you are joining us here. And my name is Benjamin. I'm one of the hosts here. And I cannot be more excited to get to do this podcast and give you guys the latest sports news. And yeah.
Hello, guys. My name is Aiden Lee. I'm so excited for this podcast, and I just wanted to say thanks to everyone that is listening. I love to watch and play many sports. I'm also twins with host Alex. I love covering sports, and I can't wait for future podcasts to come.
Hi guys, I'm Alex. I'm the third host. In this episode, we will go over the trade deadline, the MLS Championship / MLS Cup. We also will be doing finishing up the World Series, and we'll also be going over this weekend's major games, including a segment over SEC football championships, and we'll make some hot takes while we predict next week's biggest games. If you have any feedback or want to be featured in a show, please email us at tlees5588. That's capital TLEES 5588 at gmail.com. Like Aiden said, I'm his twin brother. I don't play any sports, but I used to play soccer and basketball, and I'm excited for this podcast. Thanks for listening.
Well, all right, everyone. So, welcome to In the Press Box. So let's start off with some of our major headlines, and how about we start off with the World Series here? So, what are you guys' thoughts on the World Series? How that's gone so far?
At the beginning of the series, I thought for sure that the Astros were gonna win, but they have been struggling, and also the Phillies have a game ahead of them, and they're playing tonight. So that will probably change by the time y'all guys are listening to this. They have been struggling, and the Phillies have a game ahead of them and tied in the World Series. They also tied the World Series home run record for a game last or 2 nights ago. Last night, I can't remember. So I got the Phillies coming.
So, like when the World Series started, or like kind of like when I knew when what two teams would be in the World Series, I thought the Astros were going to win, but the Phillies lead the series right now 2-1, and then for Game Four, that is today, I believe that the Phillies, since they're home, they get that home advantage, but also I think they played really well so far here. I got the Phillies winning this, and then now lead the Phillies to lead the series 3-1. And then, so yeah, I think the Astros will win Game 5. So I think Phillies in 6. But so far, this has been a really interesting World Series.
Yeah. I mean, it has been a really interesting World Series. Certainly, Philly is excited to have the World Series there. I think I agree with Aiden that I think that the Phillies are going to win this game, which you guys already know the result. But I think the next game, Thursday night, I think that the Astros are going to find a way to stay alive, especially because they have Verlander on the mound, and I just feel like playoff Verlander can be really dominant. So yeah, but it's been a fun series so far.
Yeah, and I think what you were going back is I think the Phillies definitely probably have a really good chance because they got to win 2 games compared to Astros 3. But like y'all guys said, is the Astros are not just gonna let them take the World Series. They're gonna battle hard for it, and it may even lead to some Philly struggles to pull off the win or pull off the series to come in the pull off the underdog year for the Phillies.
Yeah,
Yep.
and if you live in Philadelphia right now, you have to be happy with your local team's performances. I mean, the Eagles and the Phillies are both playing really well right now.
And the soccer team.
And yeah,
Yeah,
the Philadelphia Union and the
Hmm.
MLS, they made the final.
yeah. So if you live in Philadelphia or just any fan of the Philadelphia teams, you have to be happy about the pro sports, your pro sports team right now.
Yeah. Well, Does anyone else have any final thoughts? And if not, maybe we move to Thursday night football
Yeah,
preview,
Thursday night football, and then
and
like,
then yeah, then maybe I'm gonna get some MLS action there.
mm-hmm.
So Thursday night football here, we have the undefeated Eagles taking on the Texans. Should the Eagles should win big, but I mean I'm not sure. Texans, they able to retain Brandon Cook through the trade deadline. Can the Texans pull off the upset? What do you guys think?
I, you know what, I like underdogs. Whenever I don't like either teams really to win, I'm always go for the underdog. But just I don't see it, especially how dominant Eagles were, and last week and all the other previous weeks. The Eagles are beating 6-1 teams, and like even like the Texans got, I wouldn't say destroyed, but did not do great at all to a struggling Titans.
So yeah,
Um,
Alex, I agree with you. They didn't really do good at all against the Titans. I mean, Ryan Tannehill was out, and Malik Willis got a chance to start. But if you
their just
really look
offense
back
was
at
just
that
so
game,
bad.
Derrick Henry was the one that really carried the team. I mean, Malik Willis didn't even pass the ball that much. So we got to give credit to Derrick Henry. But for the Eagles and Texans game, I just don't see the Texans close. Like I don't even see it close to beating the Eagles. I mean, they're struggling right now on turning the ball over. They got 7 turnovers compared to the Eagles 2 turnovers, and I just don't think that that's really is going to help them at all. I mean, you got to think the Eagles are averaging like 28 points a game compared to Texans 16.6. So just all around the Eagles is just doing really good. So I just don't see the Texans. I want the Texans to win. Um, that I really do, but I just don't see it happening. I just think the Eagles are a good team, and I think they're going to end up, winning this game. So I guess you already know my prediction for that, but I just don't see the Texans upsetting the Eagles.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like you were sorry, like what you were saying about Derrick Henry, he won AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's great. Um, but yeah, for me, I mean, honestly, AJ Brown has been dominant. He led the way last week with 3 TDs and 156 yards against the Steelers. Um, and like you guys have been saying, the Titans really just ran the football. Malik didn't throw really a lot, right? And the Titans were still able to win. I feel like the Texans are struggling, and they're probably going for some high draft picks at this point in the season. But I mean, you never know. Anything can happen. I mean, it's prime time. The Texans, I believe, are at home here. So, I mean, anything can happen. But I agree with you guys. I see the Eagles winning pretty big.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty big, and also I like. Have you seen that they're gonna pull out their all red helmets with their all red jerseys?
Yes, I did see that. The little, what do they call that? Color rush?
Yeah,
Yeah, they're
they're
doing
gonna
the
look
color rush.
nice.
Those actually do look pretty nice. I got to give the Texans a lot of credit there. So, yeah, I mean, the Texans, they're probably going to be going for some high draft picks. And how far do you think the Eagles can go undefeated? Do you guys have an idea?
I definitely think they do have a good chance to go all the way.
Oh, wow.
I think in a few weeks they're playing the Bills. Let me relook at their schedule. Uh,
So, Alex, while you look at their schedule, I don't think any like I feel like it's extremely hard to go undefeated. I mean,
yeah, no
even
matter
if
how good you
you
are.
have
Yeah.
like the Eagles playing teams like Texans, Commanders, and Colts, not really good teams, you got to think that you to keep the momentum here is really hard because you never know. I mean, football is that's what I love about football is it could be a very unpredictable sport, so we never know. We could have an upset here and there, but where I see the Eagles losing first is maybe the Colts. I think the Colts could upset the Eagles here in like 2 weeks, and if not, the week after that, which they'll play the Packers. But I mean, the Eagles looking. They look to they playing after the Texans. They'll play the Commanders, the Colts, then the Packers, and those teams. They're not really uh, good so far, but we still have to see how those teams perform before they play the Eagles. And yeah, I mean they play the Titans as well on December 4th. So I'm really interested to see how the Eagles, finish the season. But I don't, just it's the NFL and it's football, so I don't really think they'll go undefeated, but I think they'll definitely, make the playoffs, and I think they can go on a good playoff run in the NFC.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I feel like if they don't have any injuries or any setbacks here, I could see them going pretty much undefeated almost for the whole regular season, but I could see them losing to the Cowboys. That's on Christmas Eve, the day before Christmas. I could see the Cowboys since the Cowboys are at home. Maybe they could win. Uh I could also see them losing to the Packers too, like you guys said, but I mean, I don't know. The Eagles look really good. The Texans are certainly rebuilding. So tomorrow night will be an interesting one to see, two franchises in different stages.
Yeah, and I couldn't say what y'all just said better because it is impossible, pretty much impossible for a team to go undefeated,
Yeah.
and they gotta lose to some way or somehow. And I think it's gonna be the Cowboys or the Packers. So one of those teams are gonna just sadly gonna ruin their streak.
Yeah. So what should we do here next? Do you want to
Trade
go?
deadline since we're
All
already
right,
in the
trade
NFL.
deadline. Let's do this trade deadline. So, all right, what are you guys' trades? What's your updates and all that?
So I have TJ Hawkinson, who was traded on Tuesday this week, and the Detroit Lions traded Hawkinson to the Minnesota Vikings. The Lions traded Hawkinson. The Lions traded Hawkinson, a 2023 fourth round pick, a 2024 fourth round pick, to the Minnesota Vikings in exchange for a 2023 second round pick and a 2024 third round pick. These two teams are NFC North rivals and still have a division matchup. So they've already played against each other this season, and they still have a division matchup ahead of the season. And the Vikings are hot right now at 6-1. They're only lost to the Eagles. Meanwhile, the Lions are struggling at 1-6. So, I have some questions for y'all guys. Do you think the Lions will struggle even more without their tight end? Do you think the Vikings will be even better by adding Hawkinson to the depth chart? So, what do you guys kind of think about the TJ Hawkinson trade and all that?
Well, I definitely think it will change because TJ Hawkinson is a all star tight end, and I think he definitely could get some more weapons out there and just add another big man to their receiving core. And I think that could definitely play out a role in NFC North division for a while because he is a young guy, and if he doesn't get traded, the Packers are starting to decline. The Vikings are starting to go up, and that really could make the Vikings a top contender every year for the NFC North.
Yeah, I mean, I think certainly the Lions are going to definitely not do as well. Again, probably another team going for high draft picks. I certainly wonder if they move on from Goff after the season, but that's for another time. And then Hawkinson on the Vikings, I think he's a really, really good asset, especially because I heard that their tight end Irv Smith was just added, I think, to the IR or he's injured. So I feel like Hawkinson is a really good addition, especially for when Smith is injured. But even past that, I feel like Hawkinson is honestly, one of the most underrated players in my opinion. And I think he's going to be a great addition to the Vikings.
Yeah, I agree with you. Hawkinson definitely not. I don't think he's on that elite level as the elite tight ends as like of Travis Kelsey, George Kittle, or any of
But
these
he
other
definitely could
people.
get
But
there. He definitely could get
definitely,
there.
PJ Hawkinson is a really good tight end, and him being added to the depth chart of the Minnesota Vikings, I definitely think they will improve, and I don't think the Lions are going to do any better. So I agree with you, Benjamin. So, what was your news for the trade deadline?
So my news for the trade deadline is the Steelers um, have traded wide receiver Chase Claypool to the Chicago Bears in exchange for a second round draft pick. Chase Chase Claypool went to Notre Dame. You know, it certainly seemed like that star receiver, that star man in Pittsburgh, and he really was really good in Pittsburgh. But you know, they end up moving on and it was time for him to go. And now he finds himself in Chicago with Justin Fields, who could certainly use some receivers. So what do you guys think? Is this a good addition for the Bears and for the Steelers? What are your thoughts on them, saying goodbye to Chase Claypool?
So, sorry.
Sorry. You go.
So I think for the Bears side, like for their team, acquiring Chase Claypool is definitely something good for Justin Fields. I feel like, you know, just having him as a target to have is something, he'll be playing against with like Valus Jones Jr., Darnell Mooney, and, you know, just wide receivers. So just having him Chase Claypool as another receiver is really good. And as far as the Pittsburgh Steelers is, I don't really know what they could get with the picks that they traded for. But obviously, I think they need to rebuild. But I just don't know where the Steelers are gonna do without Chase Claypool. So that's my thought.
Yeah, so kind of what Aiden was saying, that it was also with Steelers being like that. Is it a second round pick, Benjamin?
Yeah, second round pick. Only a second round pick.
But you think next year's draft, 2023 draft, is going to be really stacked, and I think a second round is could be a big steal. Like Hendon Hooker is probably going to second round, so they may be able to pick him up.
Yeah, they could. I don't
Is,
know. I
is
just
Aiden
yeah.
here?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's here. I just you guys, I just feel like a second is just not enough. You
Yeah,
know?
I feel like you
Like
would at least need another maybe fourth or a second, maybe a third round pick from next year or 2 years ahead of time. But definitely not a second round pick or just a second round pick for a good wide receiver as Chase Claypool is. So I definitely think that he's definitely worth more than just a second round pick.
yeah, I just Chase Claypool for a second round. And if you're a Bears fan, you're saying, "Oh my goodness, finally we've kind of felt like we've gone out and gotten someone there for Fields to throw to besides Mooney, really."
Mooney, Valus Jones, go
I
Falls,
mean,
baby.
yeah, go Vols, go Vols. But keep in mind, I think what Valus Jones is a rookie, isn't he?
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean,
Out of University of Tennessee.
yes, go Vols. That'll yeah. I mean, we're gonna preview that in just a second here, but like, you know, I feel like if you're the Bears, you're pretty happy, but they obviously got rid of some defensive people, so I mean, I don't really know.
So are we done with Chase Claypool?
Yeah, we're done with Chase Claypool. I think we can go to the next trade.
I want to do mine.
Yeah, yeah, let's do it.
Okay, just kidding. Calvin Ridley. I had Calvin Ridley, and we all know this year he was suspended, but he won't be able to play until next year. And the Falcons received a 2023 fifth round pick or a sixth round pick that hasn't been closed yet. And they also received a 2024 selection that could escalate all the way to a second rounder if he reaches certain milestones that's not disclosed. And I know it's a fascinating trade because it won't be an instant impactor, but it has the potential to be a game changer for the Jacksonville Jaguars offense. because as soon as next year, and I think they may be able to give him a little boost to win the struggling AFC South
Yeah.
as Lawrence's go-to weapon for the receiver position.
What do you guys think about that trade?
Oh, I think it's definitely like a weird trade. It's not like anything like pops out. It's just like a interesting trade, and I think we won't be able to get really know the answer until next year and see how it plays out and who they get with those draft picks.
Yeah, I agree with you, Alex. It's a really interesting trade, and I was gonna say as well, next year we'll just have to see. So, yeah, it was basically you kind of summed up basically what I was gonna say about it. But yeah, it's a very interesting trade, to say the least.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Calvin really suspended. I think it's kind of his last shot to prove himself, honestly, really. And
He's been dealing with injuries
yeah,
a
he's been
lot.
dealing with injuries, and then of course he's suspended, and then all of that. But I mean, I think he could actually be a pretty good addition next year, especially once he learns that offense and gets adjusted to Jacksonville. Could actually be someone pretty good for Lawrence to throw to.
Exactly. So now let's move on to the next segment. It is Benjamin, your favorite segment. You know what it is?
Let's go MLS Cup preview. Plus, just at the very tail end, the MLS announced their MVP for the season. So let's dive right into it. So the
It
MLS Cup is back with the Philadelphia Union taking on Los Angeles FC. The Union um, are a you know balanced team. They've gotten really far, led by Daniel Gazdag, their star man. The Union do have one of the best goalkeepers in the league with in Andre Blake, so he's going to need to have a big game because LAFC are led by Carlos Vela, Gareth Bale, and Giorgio Chiellini. Um, so that is a massive, massive attack. And I think right now my keys for the Union is just weather the storm. It's going to be loud in Los Angeles. And Blake, their goalkeeper, needs to have a really big game if they want to have a shot at winning this. So the action all takes place on Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern on Fox. So that's the MLS Cup side of things. And now, really quickly, an update with the MLS MVP. Our local guy, Hani Mukhtar from Nashville SC, just won the MVP yesterday. Mukhtar had 23 goals and 11 assists on the season.
an amazing
I
year.
know, right? That is amazing to hear and all that. So, with all of that said, who do you guys think will win the MLS Cup? Do you think the high, power attack of LAFC, who are the favorites, or do you think it's going to be the underdog Philadelphia Union looking to steal one and win the cup? Who do you guys think?
Like I said, I like to go for the underdogs. And I got the Phillies winning tonight. Why not the Philadelphia Union? Because they're led by veterans. And didn't they win it last year?
No, Philadelphia Union did not win it last year, but they made it really far. So
Who
they
won it
knocked
last
out
year
Nashville
again?
SC.
So I don't think the Philadelphia Union has won an MLS Cup
They have not.
before.
I don't believe they have.
So, for
Well,
them
why
to
not win it?
win,
Why not win it now?
yeah, so for
Yeah.
them to win the MLS Cup is, I feel like for their fan base and just for them as a franchise will be super, super good. So I'm going to go with the underdog as well. I think Philadelphia Union could definitely win the MLS Cup.
And then last question here. So Hani Mukhtar from Nashville SC, 23 goals and 11 assists on the season. Do you guys have any thoughts on just that incredible season that Hani had?
I think he could have won it last year with an amazing year last year.
You're right. You're right.
Ever since coming to Nashville, his game definitely has stepped up, and with Nashville's key players that he has on his side with Walker Zimmerman, and CJ Sapong with him, and I think they're really good backup players to really guide the MVP. And who doesn't love Honey?
Exactly. Hani, our man. You guys, Aiden, you got any thoughts?
I mean, I don't, I don't really watch the MLS, but he is a local. He's on the local team, and I just think that the statistics that he has. I know how soccer works, so to have that many goals in soccer is just really good. He definitely does deserve the MVP. So yeah.
All right, you guys. So let's have what do you want to do for our next segment?
I'll
Just
do the
remember.
20 question segment.
All
Guys, if
right.
y'all don't know how this works, um, so Aiden and Benjamin will work on a team to ask a combined 20 questions to guess my player from any sport. It can't be a too big of a player, and it can't be just a random player, kind of in between player. Uh, and we'll kind of keep up points. I don't know if there's a winner or not. We're just kind of playing this for fun to break up and kind of talk a little bit more. Y'all can learn more about us in these questions.
All right.
I
So
can't wait.
yeah, whose turn is Alex's turn to
Right.
have the athlete?
And
So
also, he forgot to mention, we are allowed to have. He's allowed to give us one hint only about what his player could be. But to make things interesting, I'd like to ask questions before we get a hint because it would be dumb if we asked the hint before we get to know trying to a little closer to knowing what the player is. So yeah, you are allowed one hint.
all right. So who wants to start? Who wants to start? How about Aiden? You want to ask a question first?
Yes. Are they in the NFL?
No.
Okay. Are they in the NBA?
Yes.
Okay.
Are they in the Western Conference?
What'd you say?
Are they in the Western Conference?
Yes.
Okay. Let's think. I'm gonna go with the team here. Are they on the Golden State Warriors?
No.
Good.
Are they on the Boston? No, not the Boston Celtics. Are they on the? Are they on the Minnesota Timberwolves?
No.
Are they in the Northwest Division?
Northwest Division, they are not.
Are they on the Suns?
They are not on the Suns. How many more questions you got?
Okay. Hold on. What are we at here? How many each have we asked? Four each?
Yes.
All right.
Dang.
Okay. Are they on the South or are they on the Pacific Division?
Yes, they are. And
Okay.
just so you know, you've already said the Warriors, so they're not on the Warriors.
Yeah.
So
So it's either gonna be
are
the Suns, the Lakers, the Kings, and the
the Clippers?
Clippers. Yeah.
So are they on the? Are they on the Clippers?
They are.
Oh. Um. Is it Paul George?
No, but that was. I was just gonna pick him.
Are they above? Are they taller than 6'5"?
No, they're not taller than 6'5".
Dang. Wait a minute. Where do you guys find the height of these players here?
Look it
Oh,
up.
okay. I see. I've got it. So they're not higher than 6'5". Is it John Wall?
It is not John Wall.
Oh, I thought it was.
Is it Reggie Jackson?
It is not Reggie Jackson.
Um, let's think. Not higher. Is it Jason Preston?
Nope. How many questions are y'all at?
I think. What was that? Is that seven each or
Yeah,
eight
so
each?
14. S- Um, is it Norman Powell?
No,
So you said it's not. They're not taller than 6'5".
they are not taller than 6'5", correct.
Is it okay? Is it Luke? Is it Luke Kennard?
It is.
Let's go.
Let's go.
So Luke Kennard or Kennard, is that how you say it?
Yes. And that is correct. Just so you know, guys, that they do kind of suck, this game. Last week we kind of made, like, when we were planning this out, we did a test and I carried Benjamin. Let's just say that.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
just say I wasn't doing so well during our practice run.
And also, before we go on to predictions, we're going to SEC championship. But let's talk about the predictions real quick. Also, we did like a little prediction, like practice, and he kind of wagered a little bit, and he ended up negative 15, and I ended up with 32, um, and he ended up with 24. But that's only Saturday's games. We did not add in NFL games yet.
Yeah, true. So I wasn't doing so well.
No, not
I
really.
really thought that Florida was going to win last week. I definitely am regretting that pick, and
See,
I'm
all
gonna
my
I'll
four of
say
my
too.
upset picks came true. Those
Yeah,
were the Lake Shore Forest and the Louisville.
all I'm gonna say here is my upset pick this week is certainly an upset. That's all I'm gonna say.
Is it Clemson versus Notre Dame? Wait, no,
Well,
but it's
well,
not. That's not.
there's oh no, I'm not giving it away.
Okay.
All right,
So now
SEC,
is my favorite part of the time.
let's
It
go.
is SEC championship playout with Georgia, Tennessee, and of course we got Alabama and LSU.
I can't
Let's
wait for
go.
these matchups this Saturday.
Who can? So,
All
Aiden, do you
right,
want to talk real quick first? I had to do a few things real quick. Give me like 5 minutes so y'all talk, and then I'll do my amazing part.
just go on mute. Just go on mute.
All right, so for this, I mean, for the SEC championship, we're really looking into the games this week between Tennessee versus Georgia, and then for the West, we're looking into um, the game down in Baton Rouge, Alabama versus LSU. The crowd really does have to can show up that game up in Death Valley, but these I'm not gonna give
Good.
away my predictions for either of these games. We'll save those for predictions. But all I have to say is the winner or loser for these matchups definitely will be the favorite in the SEC championship. I just don't see any other teams besides those four teams playing against each other in the SEC championship. So yeah, that's my thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Tennessee and Georgia is going to be crazy. Tennessee, high powered offense heading to Georgia. It's going to be really loud. Georgia has a pretty good defense. That's at 3:30 Eastern this Saturday on CBS, and then we have Alabama against LSU. Um, I believe that is at 7 Eastern on ESPN this Saturday. College Game Day, popular pregame show, is going to be in Georgia. But I mean, Tennessee in the college football playoff poll was ranked number one. That has not happened in a very long time. So I mean, if you're a Tennessee fan, I think you are very, very, very excited about this season and how it's been going so far.
Yeah, and it's only the second year under Josh Heupel, so just for him to be able to build such a great offense and just a great program overall, in just a matter of 2 years. It's something that Jeremy Pruitt or Butch Jones or Lane Kiffin or just any of these coaches in the past, we haven't seen that from him. But finally, we have a coach that knows what he's doing, that knows how to run a football team, and fans that are not even Tennessee fans, you got Florida fans, like even out of the SEC, like there's just so many college football fans that love seeing Tennessee be good. I mean, it was honestly kind of boring just seeing Alabama or Georgia or these other teams, blowing out. So just seeing another competitive team up there, especially Tennessee, I think it's something special. And I really do love Hendon Hooker and what Josh Heupel, Jalen Hyatt, and all of them has been able to do this season.
And then also, what I've just been so impressed by is how their offense is like a very they move really quick in between plays. Tennessee, and they're just so mistake free. That's what I find so impressive. They run such a quick offense, you know,
Yeah, you
moving
see,
from play to play, and they're just so mistake free, and it's just so impressive. And you can really see the change that Heupel has brought to Tennessee, certainly. Um, and then for Georgia, for Georgia, you know they have a good defense. Obviously, they won the championship last year. But I'm telling you, if Tennessee wins this game, I mean, could we say they're a lock for the college football playoff? Certainly as long as they don't lose anything, I would think that they are.
yeah. I
Um,
mean, yeah,
yeah.
like like what you said, it's definitely very good.
Um, so then Alabama and LSU. Alabama, losing to Tennessee, all of that, trying to, get back on track. They've really got to win out if Alabama wants to make the playoffs against LSU. LSU coming off of a big win against Ole Miss. They've gone all the way up to number 10 in the college football playoff rankings that were released on Tuesday. And, both of these games will have major implications on the SEC championship and the college football playoff, I believe. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Get in here.
So, so, so what? So, like, this is a question that could be asked by SEC fans or just college football fans. Is what side do you think is better, the SEC East or the SEC West?
Ooh. Um. Well, hold on. Is it SEC West has or East has Bama and Tennessee, I believe, correct?
No, SEC East has the Tennessee, Georgia, Florida, Missouri, Vanderbilt, um, Kentucky. Those teams, and then the SEC West has Ole Miss, LSU, Alabama, Auburn, and so those teams. So, like, think of that for the South.
Yeah, I mean, no, then it's the SEC West, 1,000%.
All right, I'm back. Sorry. Um, so I don't really know what y'all talked about. Real quick. Real quick.
Well, just to catch you up real quick here, we were talking about some of the major games between Tennessee and Georgia and Alabama versus LSU, and then we were also talking about how the SEC West is better than the SEC East.
First of
So,
all, that is not
yeah,
true.
well, that's what I think. I think the
Well, you
SEC
got tennis. You got the top two teams in the country.
in the East.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, hold on. That's what I thought, but Aiden said that the top two teams were in the West.
No, they're in the East.
All right, well, whatever. It's the East then. Here, Alex is the SEC man, the
Yeah.
SEC most college football guy out of all of us. But so, just what are your thoughts on Tennessee versus Georgia and Alabama versus LSU?
Okay. So, um, obviously it's a big game. Biggest game in my life, your life, Aiden's life, and most. I'm not saying all our audience. Most of our audience life. One versus one in college football polls for Tennessee and AP poll for Georgia. I like college football playoffs better a little bit more. Just kidding. Um, and I like to think of this game as Tennessee's always underrated. Put put Alabama, same team as Tennessee. Now put Alabama against Georgia. Now let's see what those odds are.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Like if you give Alabama Tennessee's whole entire time, um, Alabama would be the ranked number one team. Just saying. Georgia has a 75% chance to win, and against one versus one.
I think
And then
that's unfair.
and yeah, and then okay, now let's look at Clemson versus Notre Dame. Notre Dame has a 30% chance to win. That is still a major higher much chance for Clemson to win. But let's think a struggling, well, not struggling, they're not struggling, but they're around a 500 team beating a top four team is a higher chance to happen than a on fire Tennessee beating Georgia. Now, if you put the roll tide in there, let's see how much that would change.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
And
So,
Hold on,
I
hold
you
on,
think
said
hold on.
everything
no,
that.
and I think that's what Tennessee needs to prove, and that's what they're going to prove this week.
Yeah. So we're just here we go. Aiden's back now. We're just wrapping up some of the SEC and the college football stuff. But I mean, I agree with what you're saying, Alex.
Yeah. So now let's get on to the predictions,
All right,
where
the
we make
predictions.
our picks for this Alabama LSU games, Tennessee game, and we'll also finish up with this biggest games of the week in our upset picks. Yeah, who wants to tell them about the kind of how the scoring works for?
Aiden, you want to do it?
Yeah, so basically, how the scoring works is for each prediction that you get right, you will receive 1 point, and then for each prediction that you get wrong, you will get -1 point. So you can go in the negatives if you completely do bad, like Benjamin did last week. It was for a practice thing, but Benjamin, he didn't really do good on his predictions last week. But hopefully, I think the whole thing starts over this week, so we're all at zero. So he gets another chance to not make any dumb mistakes, like putting Florida over Georgia. But anyway, but if there's an upset, we each have an upset pick of the week where we have a upset, an unranked team beat a ranked team, and if you get the upset correct, you will get 2 points. And then
Yep.
if you get it wrong, do you get -2 points?
Or even, they can both be ranked. It just one has to be, heavily
Yeah,
favored.
yeah, and the most unique important part about this is you can wager points. So say that I don't really think what Alex predicted is. I think it's not good, or I don't think that's going to happen. So I can wager points, and if Alex just gets it wrong, and I wagered like 5 points on it, then I will receive 5 points, and Alex will lose 5 points. So it's definitely something unique that you can wager points. So that I
Something that
think
you
that's
can't do in college game day.
yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, and we
And
will be keeping up with every single week, all of our predictions. We will keep up with the points. So whoever loses this week could definitely still win by the end of the year, and we'll stop it. We'll restart at the end of the year, and then we'll see we have a winner of like who the best predictor of 2022 is. So are we ready to get into it now
Yeah.
that we
Let's get
know
into it.
how it works?
All right. So you guys have got your prediction sheet. We've got Oregon State versus Washington. Who do you guys have?
So this is actually my upset pick. I know it's so early. It's gonna be the game that's Friday. So yeah, the game that's this Friday, and I have Washington beating Oregon State. I know Oregon State is ranked 24. They're not high up in the rankings, and we could see this going either way. But just the upset pick for this week for me is going to be Washington, and I think Washington will win this game against Oregon State at home.
so, I also got the Huskers, Washington. I don't predict. I don't see them as my underdog pick, but I do see them getting a major victory in against Oregon State as Oregon State travels to Washington, and I think that just be enough to just kind of just break the edge for Washington because Oregon State is a ranked team, but they're not really a highly ranked team, and I think Washington's like the ranked 27 or 26 team, so it is kind of on the score sheet. It looks like Oregon State may win, but it doesn't matter about stats and scores. It matters about the game, and I think Washington.
Yeah, so I got Washington, Oregon State's ranked 23rd. So it is an upset, but I just feel like Washington and their crowd on a Friday night is going to be loud. It's going to be too much for Oregon State to handle. So I have Washington. So how about North Carolina versus Virginia?
I have the North Carolina Tar Heels beating Virginia. I don't see Virginia winning this game. So I think that North Carolina will end up winning this game.
I also got the Tar Heels. Drake May is on fire, and he'll destroy Virginia. The Cavaliers won't know what to do.
Uh, so I do like Virginia, but I do have to go with the North Carolina Tar Heels. I think, like Alex was saying, North Carolina is just going to be too much for Virginia to handle, and I have the Tar Heels winning that. How about Texas Tech versus TCU?
I don't think this game will be close, but it definitely could. Texas Tech could win, but I don't really think so. So I have TCU winning at home, and I think TCU has a good offense. And obviously not as good as Tennessee or Ohio State, any of those offenses like that. But TCU does have a good offense, and they've been playing good this season. They're ranked 7, so I got TCU beating Texas Tech.
Okay, so TCU is obviously the ranked number 7 team in the AP poll, and also I think the college football playoff poll. And Texas Tech has a 26% chance to win. And guess kind of what Tennessee percentage is to win? 25.5. So, you know what I got to say? TCU.
Oh wow! So yeah, I mean, same. I have to go TCU. They're just going to be too much. By the way, TCU is one of those teams where if they can win out, don't be surprised if they may find themselves in the playoff at number 4. I'm just saying it could
Mm.
happen. Their strength of schedule is really tough, and if certain things go their way, and especially if they win out, you can make a real argument for them. So
Speaking
yeah.
of college football strength of schedule, do you think if Georgia is not able to pull off this win, what do you think of them getting into the college football playoffs?
Well, I think it depends on the other teams around them. Like, I really believe if TCU wins out and Georgia loses this game, I seriously think TCU is that number 4 team.
But
Uh,
as we could tell from previous years, the committee loves SEC teams, and
yep, you're right. So TCU, it could be
it,
tough, but I don't know. I but I think as for Georgia, if they lose this, I
it's
mean,
gonna be hard.
it's
Same
gonna
thing
be
for
real
Tennessee.
hard.
Same thing for Tennessee. I think it's gonna be hard for both, but I
I
think
think, yeah,
Georgia is gonna be worse of a loss if than Tennessee loses.
I think though for Tennessee, they probably have the best win, which is against Alabama. And if they find themselves in the SEC championship and they're able to win that, I think Tennessee will be okay. So
Yeah,
yeah.
because they have the best win of the season, and if you pull out Georgia, that'd be the two best wins of the season.
So let's see here. We got Tulane versus Tulsa. Who you guys got?
I got Tulane winning this game. I think they could just beat Tulsa, so I've got Tulane.
I don't want to be all the same as y'all, but I just can't see Tulane losing to Tulsa. So Tulane,
Yeah. I agree with you guys. I got Tulane in this one. Ohio State versus Northwestern.
Ohio State, go Buckeyes. Well, no, don't go Buckeyes, but they're gonna win this game.
I have Ohio State winning against Northwestern. I don't see Northwestern coming close to this. And so far, our predictions have all been the same. So that's really interesting because that didn't happen last time. But
Yeah.
I think Ohio State is going to win this game easily.
I got Ohio State winning this, but just so you guys know, we do not really share our predictions with each other before the the podcast and all that. So this is a funny coincidence right here.
I know. Let's see
But
how far we can get.
yeah,
Before
but
we
we're
go,
gonna
let's
see.
predict. Let's
Here's the
predict
thing.
how far we can go down.
I think the
I
next
mean,
game.
I think the next one too.
well, I think the next one I know who I've got, but my upset is gonna shock a lot of people. So I think it's gonna end there. I don't. There's no way someone's picking that. So we have Oklahoma State versus Kansas. Who you have? Who do
The
I
you
have
got?
Cow-
o- I have Oklahoma State and Alex. Go ahead. What do you say?
the Cowboys are doing good in the NFL, but not in college. That's why I got the Jayhawks.
Oh
They're
my
were
goodness.
once a good basketball team. Now they're a football program. So let's go for the Kansas Jayhawks. We're breaking
I
it
have
up.
got Oklahoma State on this one.
Boo.
So Alex broke the streak, but me and Benjamin still have the same predictions.
And for game
Um,
7, UCF versus Memphis, I also got the ranked team UCF. Just
I
because
have
just because Memphis has been struggling, but it is at Memphis. That is a big thing because Memphis is a pretty good team.
I have UCF winning this game. UCF obviously coming to with a close win last week, and so I think UCF, that win against Cincinnati really does help. And now they're in the AP poll top 25 as the 25 ranked 25 team, and Memphis. Obviously, is home. They're a decent team, but I don't see them winning, so I got UCF in this game.
All right. Well, we're gonna keep that streak alive because I've got UCF. UCF will win this game. I'm pretty sure about that one. I don't know. I feel like UCF. They're certainly an underrated team in college football. They've kind of turned their program around a few years ago with Scott Frost and all that, and you know, yeah. So Penn State versus Indiana. I have Penn State in this one. Who do you guys have?
I have Penn State. Coming off the loss to Ohio State, they really kept up with them until the fourth quarter, I would say. So Penn State is not a bad team. They're still a really good team. Um, but because they are still a good team, I think that they are just better than Indiana, and I don't see Indiana winning. So I have also will keep the streak alive with 8 games so far, and I will say Penn
No,
State wins this game.
no. First of all, it's not the streak. I said Kansas, so I did ruin it.
No, but me and Benjamin still have a streak going on.
Oh, um. So the Penn State are an amazing team. Um, the Hoosiers have been struggling, and the Penn State have been doing amazing. But I'm going the Hoosiers. Just keep it going. Let's keep it going. I love the Hoosiers. Go Indiana.
All right, Oregon versus Colorado. I got Oregon in this one. Pretty big here.
I also have Oregon pretty big in this one. I don't think Colorado is a good football program. They're not really doing good this season, so I have Oregon big.
Yeah, Colorado is one of the worst teams. I'm going to be rude, but it is kind of factual. They are one of the worst teams in college football currently. So
Agreed.
I'm going to have to go with obviously the ranked team, Oregon, pulling off a major beatdown on Colorado.
Alrighty, here we have Michigan State versus Illinois. I have Illinois. Michigan State has really struggled this year. I thought that they were going to do a lot better, but unfortunately, they have not performed to their expectations, and I have Illinois.
And I also have Illinois. Michigan three. I think they're like three. They've only won 3 games this season, so I don't really have Michigan State win this game, and therefore I have Illinois winning this game.
I'm also gonna have to agree with y'all. Illinois is a ranked team coming into this, and they're at home against a struggling Michigan State that just got slaughtered by Michigan Wolverines. So why not? They lose again to the Fighting Illini.
All right. Who? What is next? Syracuse versus Pittsburgh.
So this might be where the me and Benjamin's streak ends because I do have an upset. I think Pittsburgh at home will beat Syracuse, and I would like to know y'all's predictions. So I have Pittsburgh.
Oh man, I have Syracuse. So the streak does end. Go Orange, go Syracuse. I do like Syracuse, by the way. But yeah, I do have Syracuse. I think that they're just gonna sneak by Pittsburgh. So yeah, so I got Syracuse.
I'm gonna have to go with Aiden over here. Like he said, Pittsburgh, they're at home, and we all know how Pittsburgh's been at home this year. They've had the closest game to Tennessee, and I think that's the biggest bragging right you can get in college football currently. So, Tennessee, an orange team, they were able to beat Pittsburgh. So, the Pittsburgh needs to get their revenge on the orange. Pittsburgh over Syracuse. That is my upset pick.
Oh wow, so upset pick. So Pittsburgh over Syracuse. I want to wager that.
Wager it. Yeah, let's wager it.
I want to wager. Let's go. I'm not gonna wager that high because I feel like actually Pittsburgh could win.
I'm
So
going 3 points here. Three
yeah,
points.
that's just what I was gonna say. We're on the same page. Yeah, I'll wager 3 points. Let's do that.
Do I also get 3 points?
No.
No, because you predicted you predicted Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I
So
also predict Pittsburgh.
so yeah. So no. Like what was your upset pick again? You said it was.
Washington, Oregon State versus Washington.
So I picked Washington, and so I can't wager with you.
Yeah, me too. We all.
We can't wager, which is actually probably a good thing because it's an upset pick for a reason. It won't likely happen. So
No, it will happen.
I mean, it will, especially mine. Like they will happen. I was just joking about
Oh,
Florida. I was
let me
just
get my
joking
points
about
up with
Florida.
that. I'll gladly.
I was just joking about Florida. All right, well, let's go Liberty versus Arkansas. I do have Arkansas, but I do really like Liberty. You know, Malik Willis and all that, but I have Arkansas.
I also agree with you. I also do like Liberty, but I think that Arkansas, you know, they're the SEC team here, and I think SEC is just that they're just too hard to play. So I don't think Liberty can play. I don't think Liberty. I think Liberty could do good, but I don't see them winning. So I have Arkansas in this game.
I think this definitely is gonna be one of the big good games this week. Besides the SEC showdowns that we're gonna be able to see. I think this will be one of the best weekends ever in college football. And I know Liberty's a ranked team traveling to Arkansas, so that's why I got the Razorbacks.
All right, Texas versus Kansas State. I do have Texas in this one.
All right, I have Kansas State, and I would love to wager Benjamin.
Really?
I'm gonna wager all these points. Let's also do three.
Wow. All right. I'm willing to go with two. I'm willing to go with two. Let's do two.
Okay.
All
And
right.
I have, you know who I have for this game? I'm
Who?
gonna have to agree with Benjamin because
Let's
I picked
go.
Texas to win this game.
Hey, can I bet? You want me to pay measure with you?
I will wager exact this 2 points. I'll wager 2 points that Texas will beat Kansas State.
A lot of action. All right, you guys, are you ready for the next game? So we have Alabama versus LSU. Who do you guys have?
This
Alabama.
this one is
Alabama's gonna travel to Death Valley. They're gonna pull a Tennessee, shut the fans out, kick them out the first half. They're gonna dominate the rest of the way. Alabama.
so this game, like we said, obviously made is going to probably determine the SEC West. As
Not
I really
really.
do want LSU to win this game, as much as I don't like Alabama, but I just don't think LSU will beat Alabama. So I'm gonna have to go with Alabama this game.
All right. This is my upset pick of the week. I have LSU Tigers. I think that that really ends it for Alabama and their college football playoff hopes. And I do have LSU, especially since Alabama, they only stuck by Texas A&M. They lose against Tennessee. Uh, I do have LSU, so I'm willing to wager. If anyone's willing to wager here, I'm willing to wager 5 points.
I'll wager 6 points.
6 points. All
Yeah.
right, I'll take it. I'll go with 6 points.
All right, Alex, would you like to wager anything with this Alabama LSU game?
Okay. All right.
Seems like Alex is on the phone over there. We'll see. Alex likes to wager. You think he'll wager, Aiden?
Um, I think he will wager. I think he'll wager uh some points. Like obviously he was off
Ah,
willing to
here we go,
wager.
guys. I'm willing to wager.
Oh
Let's get
boy,
it
he
up.
is emphatically willing to wager. Oh my goodness. How much
Alex,
you willing to
is this
wager?
for the Alabama game?
Yeah, Alabama. I have LSU. That's my upset pick of the week. How much you willing to wager?
I'm wagering 4. Let's go with 4.
All right, so we got 4 and we got 6. So overall, I could lose 10 points, but I don't think I will. I think I'm gonna gain 10 points because LSU. There's nothing like Death Valley at night. That place is gonna be rocking. That's gonna be a good game.
Okay,
So
so let's talk about these wagers so far. So,
yeah, true.
Aiden would get 2 for his upset pick against Oregon versus Washington. I would get 2 against Syracuse Pittsburgh. We also me and Benjamin wavered 3 points for that. And 13 game is Texas versus Arkansas State. Um,
Or
that
Kansas or
was
Kansas State, but yeah.
do what?
I just gonna say Texas versus Kansas State, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. Benjamin and Aiden, y'all both waver 2 points, so I have 4 points on the line. Benjamin and Aiden have 2 points on the line. And Alabama LSU, Benjamin, that's his 2 point upset pick. And I also wavered 4 points, so Benjamin has 6 points on the line. I have 4 points on the line for that.
Well, I wagered 6 as to that
Oh,
game too.
I got 10 points on the line for that game.
Aiden wavered 6, so you have 12.
All right, well, let's go Michigan versus Rutgers. I got Michigan big.
Michigan, because its Rutgers are struggling, and Michigan just a beast.
Michigan, I do think they should have been in the number 4 spot in the college football playoff rankings. And I think Clemson and Michigan should like switch. I think Clemson deserved that number 5, and then Michigan definitely should have been number 4. I know a lot of fans were mad about that, but for this game, I have Michigan beating the Rutgers.
All right. Let's see here. Clemson versus Notre Dame. I have Clemson there, but Notre Dame might actually keep it close. Maybe like a one possession game, maybe two possession, but it's definitely a watchable close game, I would say, since it's in Notre Dame, but I do have Clemson winning that.
I have Clemson winning against Notre Dame. Like you said, I think it could be close, but I just don't think that Notre Dame, um, they're coming off a big win, but I just don't think that they're going to beat Clemson.
So I think this was really upsetting. Um, if I almost picked Notre Dame, I wanted to pick Notre Dame so bad, but Clemson's a higher rated team, just been better all for a good chunk of the season. So I think I'm just gonna have to barely get the edge to Clemson, but this is definitely gonna be a close game. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes either way.
All right. So, yeah, I mean, you're right. I got Arizona versus Utah. I have Utah in this one.
I
I
also have the Utah because 12th Arizona travels to Utah, the 12th ranked team, after playing USC last week. And I think Arizona is just going to be tired down while the Utah is not. His strength of schedule has been pretty easy, so I'm going with the Utah Utes or something like that.
Utes or something.
Yeah.
I am also going with Utah this game.
All right. Wake Forest versus NC State. I got Wake Forest just barely winning that one. Wake
So,
Forest.
so yeah, this is another close game that could be good to watch. But I do agree with Benjamin here. I think Wake Forest will win against NC State.
Okay, let me see what I put down. Do I agree with y'all or not? Let's get the drum roll, please. I do not have Wake Forest. I'm going with NC State. Let's
Oh
go,
boy.
NC State, baby.
I'm not gonna wager anything because this game could go either way because I
Yeah,
do
you're not
think
going
this
to
is
wager because you're
close.
scared.
But I do
I'm
think
not
Wake
wagering.
Forest.
I'm not wagering at all.
Exactly,
I
because y'all are
that is
scared.
that's a coin flip. That is a coin flip to me. I mean, that could go either way, but I do have Wake. All right, you guys. Let's see. UCLA versus Arizona State. I have UCLA.
I also have UCLA beating
I
Arizona
also
State.
have UCLA.
Let's go. Fired up. All right. California versus USC. I have USC.
I also have USC. I just don't think California is good like the Trojans, so I think USC will win.
I don't like to be the same pick as y'all because y'all suck at predictions, but y'all are right. USC.
All right, USC. All right, you guys. Now we go on to NFL. Eagles versus Texans. We touched on this one earlier. I got the Eagles. What do you guys have?
Like we said earlier, I don't think the Texans have been doing great this season, and I think that I got the Eagles going 8-0 for right now. So I think the Eagles are gonna win.
Texans, like I said, struggling against Titans. Guess what? Eagles are better than Titans. Sadly, I had to admit it, so I'm going Eagles.
All right. Chargers versus Falcons. I got the Chargers.
I also have the Chargers winning this game. This game could go either way, but I just think the Chargers will win this game.
I'm going with the Falcons, baby. They are the home team. Going with the Falcons. Give me
All
them
right.
points. Who wanted to wager this?
I'm not wagering. I think that the Falcons could win.
Exactly, because y'all scared, like I'm saying.
I don't think I'm gonna wager anything.
Because y'all are
Most of the time
scared.
for NFL games every week, because NFL games they're really unpredictable. They're not like they can't be as much blowouts as college you can get because they're not as good college teams. So, but NFL like it's really close and go either way. So I don't think I would want to wager anything unless you make like a stupid like prediction. But like I'm not gonna wager anything, but I do think that the Chargers are gonna beat the Falcons.
All right. Dolphins versus Bears. I got the Dolphins.
I also have the Dolphins.
I also have the Bears, baby.
Oh my goodness
Wow,
gracious.
Alex always
Wager
picking
these
against
points.
us,
Wager these points.
I'm willing to wager. I'll wager you 2 points for that one.
I'll wager you 2 points also.
and I'm not wagering anything.
Oh boy. So Aiden's gonna play it safe.
So
All right.
Aiden's gonna be no matter what, probably in the middle,
Yeah. Right. All
and
right.
it's just gonna be one way: either blow out by Benjamin or blow out by me.
You gotta play it smart.
All right. Panthers versus Bengals. I got the Bengals in this one.
Shoot.
So far, me and Benjamin have agreed on everything in the NFL so far because I also have the Bengals. They just lost to the Browns big on Halloween night, but I don't think the Bengals will lose to the Panthers. So I get the Bengals.
I also agree they've struggling. Panthers have not been the same without CMC, and that's why.
All right. Packers versus the Lions. I got the Packers pretty big here.
I also got the Packers, like we talked about before, TJ Hawkinson obviously is no longer on the Detroit Lions, and that will make them, I feel like they'll struggle more without their best tight end. So the the I have the sorry, I was taking a sneeze. I have the Packers.
I also have the Packers.
All right. Raiders versus the Jaguars. I have the Raiders winning this one. How about you guys?
I'm gonna have to agree once again in the NFL with Benjamin.
Once
Let's go.
again,
The
I'm gonna have to
Raiders.
go with the Jaguars, baby.
Oh my goodness. I'm
Who
not
wants to
wagering
wager
though.
these points up?
No, no, I am not wagering.
Yeah, you're not wagering 'cause y'all are scared.
I'm not gonna
Well,
wager that either, but I do think the Raiders are gonna win.
I am in your head, baby. I am in your head.
all right. Colts versus the Patriots. We got to fire it up, Alex. Let's see. I have the Patriots winning this, and I bet you he's going to say the Colts, and he's going to want to wager. Am I correct about that, Alex?
You are
Well,
not correct. I also got the Patriots. New
Oh,
England is on fire. Same thing with my picks. We are both on fire. We're gonna win this together.
let's go.
so what
No,
pretty
I was
much
talking about you. I was
whatever,
talking about Patriots.
pretty
You were
much
gonna
whatever
lose.
Benjamin. I think for NFL, I feel like pretty much what Benjamin says, guys, just expect from me because I also have the Patriots winning against the Colts.
All right, Bills versus Jets. I have the Buffalo Bills. I think the Bills are just a little bit too much for the Jets, but I got the Bills.
I also have the Bills.
So, you know how what our favorite airplane to drive it ride is?
What? Oh,
A bill. Let's go Bills.
okay. So Vikings versus the Commanders. I got the Vikings.
And once again, I agree with Benjamin. I also have the Vikings.
Okay. You know what we need? We need a major upset.
Oh my goodness
And
gracious.
it's not going to happen now. That is the Vikings.
All right, Seahawks versus Cardinals. I got the Seahawks. Let's go. Who you guys got?
I this is the one where I can't agree with Benjamin because I have the Cardinals defeating the Seahawks.
Battle of the Birds. In real life, Seahawks will win in a real life battle, but they're not going to win in football. Cardinals by a
Interesting.
touchdown.
All right, Rams versus Buccaneers. I do have the Bucks. Surely Brady can turn the ship around and win.
I also had the Buccaneers. I think that the Rams have not been living up to the hype after winning the Super Bowl last year, but neither does the Buccaneers. Obviously, they're both struggling a little bit on the season, but I think Tom Brady can turn the ship around. So I do got the Bucks winning this game.
All right, Ravens versus Saints. Then we'll loop
Hey,
around to Titans versus
hey,
Chiefs and
hey,
Tennessee versus
hey,
Georgia.
hey. I said Buccaneers. Don't skip me, buddy.
You say? Oh, you said? Oh, okay, okay.
Yep, go Buccaneers. We're going to turn this ship around.
All right. So Ravens versus Saints. I got the Saints.
We forgot Titans, Chiefs.
I know. We'll come back. We'll come back. Let's
Okay,
do
okay.
let's do the last two local teams at the end here.
I
You said
have the
Saints?
I have
Yeah,
the
I said so.
Ravens.
Ravens. All right.
All right, Benjamin. I don't want to be on your side, but I'm going to be on your side today. The Saints are going to be carried by Alvin Kamara, and they're just going to dominate the Ravens.
All right. Here we go. Titans versus Chiefs. Sunday night football. I love my Titans, but I
Yeah,
have
I
the
do.
Chiefs. So I got the Chiefs.
I also really love the Titans, but we don't know. I don't know about the quarterback situation yet. On Tennessee's end of the football, and I don't think Malik Willis is ready for the starting position. I still think he needs to progress a little bit, and it's at Arrowhead, so the atmosphere there always crazy. It's a very hard place to play at Arrowhead Stadium,
Especially at
um,
night.
and it's the Chiefs. I mean, they're 5-2, same record as the Titans, and this game could determine the AFC seedings later in the season, but we never know. But as much as I do want the Titans to win, and plus, trust me, from coming from Nashville, I do want the Titans to win, but I got to give it to the Chiefs, and I think Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs will defeat the Titans.
Like Benjamin said, it is a Sunday night football major game, probably one of the biggest games of the weekend. So if you're a Tennessee Titans fan or Tennessee slash Titans fan, big week for you. So big week for us. Um, but every year since 2010, Chiefs have been a better team. But somehow, Titans every single time have pulled off an upset, except for the AFC. We don't talk about the AFC conference. Um, every single time, Titans have beat the Chiefs besides the AFC conference. So I'm going Titans, baby. Let's wager up for Titan up.
I'm not wagering.
I don't want
Blue
to wager.
Arrowhead.
I don't
Nissan
want to
has
wager.
nothing on Arrowhead. I mean, Arrowhead has nothing on Nissan.
My goodness. Nah, no, I'm not wagering. I'm not wagering that. All right, everyone. Are you wagering, Aiden?
No.
All right. Okay, everyone, settle down. Take a deep breath.
I ain't settling down for
Here
this,
we
baby.
go. Tennessee versus Georgia, the game of the week in the SEC and in all of sports. 2:30 Central Time on CBS. Tennessee versus Georgia. I have the Vols of Tennessee because I feel like that they
It's
actually
kind of
really
scaring me a
do.
little
I'm
bit.
not just saying that. Who do you guys have?
I'm not just saying this to be a biased Tennessee fan, but we're gonna try to keep that number one spot in the college football playoff rankings. And I'm going. If I had Lee Corso's mascot, I would. Because you know what I would put on? I would put on that smoky head mascot because Tennessee Volunteers are gonna be the Georgia Bulldogs.
Let's go.
So, Georgia has an amazing defense. We all know that. But amazing defense has a limit. Amazing offense does not. So I'm going Vols, baby. Vols by 30. Vols by 30.
Vols by 30. Oh my goodness, voice crack, but Vols by 30. Oh my goodness.
Does
Let's
anyone
wager
want
the
to
points. I
wager?
want to wager how big of a blowout this is going to be. It's
I
going to be
would
Do we
20
like.
wager?
points.
Do we
I
want
would
to
like
wager?
to wager.
I'm gonna wager. I'm gonna wager that. I'm gonna say that Vols are gonna win by 2. So I'm gonna wager. You say 30. I'm willing to
No,
wager.
no, we're doing 14. 14 or under.
All right, 14 or under. Oh my goodness.
This is worth 2 points for everybody if you get it right.
All right. I say it's gonna be under 14. And I'm wagering 2.
Can I wager if Georgia beats Tennessee?
No, you can get out of here with saying that.
No, no, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna wager anything because this game could go anywhere. So I'm not gonna wager anything. But I have the Tennessee Volunteers winning.
Okay. Well,
Okay, so I think Benjamin is going to be correct about the under. So I just kind of want to be opposite. So I'm going to be upper 2 points.
all right. So there you guys go. So there's all of our predictions. Any final thoughts before we end this episode of Behind the Crest? Or not Behind the Crest. Oh my goodness. I misspoke there. I apologize, you guys. Might edit that one out. But before we end this episode of In the Press Box is what I meant to say. Any final
Well,
thoughts before we end the episode?
I want to talk about this. Like I said, Tennessee for Georgia game. Like I said, I don't want to bring it up a lot because I don't want to be like a seal running around like a. Okay, sorry, the kind of weird analogy. So I think the Titans
It's
because
inappropriate.
no, it's not inappropriate. Like the seal, like have you seen like a seal like
Yeah,
how a
I've seen
seal
it.
like brings up? You ever seen that analogy?
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that.
Okay. So I go in Tennessee because of their. If you put Alabama in their shoes, all the way, Alabama would be favored to win. But Tennessee is not powerhouse, but they're fixing to be a powerhouse. That's why I got Tennessee. It's obviously the biggest game of in the last 10 years for college, probably college sports. And I think it just really summons out the thing. There's been so many comparisons to LSU football team 2019 with amazing Joe Burrow. And guess who won the national championship? Volunteers for the national championship, and that is
Oh
it
my
for me.
goodness.
That's a huge pick. That's like
And
the
that is
hot
it for
take.
me.
That is monster. You know, speaking of that, I think one thing that we kind of forgot to do in this episode is, and you guys don't have to. Do you guys have any picks for like the Super Bowl or the national championship or anything like that?
Um,
Or should we
right
wait? Should
now,
we wait?
Eagles and the Vols, baby.
that's what I was gonna say. The Eagles and the Volunteers.
All right, I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to rock with the Chiefs and the Vols. Yeah, I got to go with the Chiefs and the Vols for me. I think that the Chiefs will figure it out. Um, so any final thoughts? Let's see here. So again, if you guys have like any comments or feedback, just anything like that, or you want to be on our show, please email us at tlees558@gmail.com.
Five five
Again,
eight eight two
or
eight.
5588. Thank you. Again, that is capital T, lowercase LEES 558 at gmail.com.
Eight eight.
tlees5588 at gmail.com.
And
Yeah.
we will kind of talk to you before. You will kind of know what you were doing. It's not like. By the way, this is like our first podcast too, so it's not like you won't be doing anything or you won't be knowing what to do. We'll talk to you before if you want to be in it, or if you just have any feedback. And I think that's it for me and the press box. Thank
And
you guys for
also,
watching. Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
thank y'all guys for watching. But one more thing is we will probably have a guest on next week for the next for the second episode podcast. So you may be looking forward to that.
Ooh.
Austin.
Oh, it's a surprise. I didn't know that.
All right, Austin. Well, we'll leave that a surprise as to who that is, and yeah. So let's think. Any final thoughts? Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in, listening, watching, whatever, wherever you
Sorry.
are.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, and
Uh,
also, let's go LeBron James and all that. You got to shout out my guy LeBron. So just really quick, I had to say that. So yeah, thank you guys for listening to In the Press Box, and yeah,
can I say something real quick?
yeah, you can, yeah.
Also, by the way, go John Morant. Uh, Also, if you want to be in the show, you don't have to be in the full show. You can just be in a little segment if you want to be a guest picker with us for predictions, or if you want to say like a quick segment, like how we kind of did Tennessee Volunteers. If you know a lot about Tennessee Volunteers or Georgia, we would like to have you in the show. And thank you guys for watching. Of course, I appreciate every single one of y'all watching. And I think that's it. We're out.
All right. See you guys later. Have a great night or day. And again, from wherever you're listening, thank you so much for listening and watching. We'll see you later.